Sydney Proctor loved her church. She was heavily involved from a young age and had dreams of being ordained. But something happened that shook her faith.
He told me he'd rape me if given the opportunity.
And that wasn't the only incident. Proctor says she was a victim of sexual misconduct at the hands of multiple people, and reporting those who scarred her didn't do much.
I felt like my voice felt super small.
After years of suffering with depression and a sense of isolation, she decided to share her story with the Anglican Journal, which is published by the Anglican Church of Canada.
I was really hopeful that we could just get this series of events in front of eyes, and then hopefully other women or individuals in general come forward and want to tell their stories as well, and actually really put this critical lens on the church.
Matthew Townsend is the former editor of the Anglican Journal. He assigned the story and was on paternity leave when senior leaders at the Anglican Church of Canada asked for a draft copy. It also featured 2 other accusers who chose to come forward.
I don't think it would have been unusual for a publisher to take interest in a relatively explosive story, and how is this going to affect the organization?
The 3 accusers were offered anonymity and a chance to read the story before publishing. But an early draft was circulated by a senior church executive. That working copy contained information that the accusers say could have identified them, making them relive their trauma all over again.
The fact that the publisher decided to distribute the draft outwardly. It's the worst thing I ever experienced in my career, for sure. I was mortified by it.
I am deeply sorry for the breach of trust that led to the pain that the 3 sources have felt.
The head of the church feels its response to the breach has been adequate.
We entered into an investigation to ensure that the miscommunications between journal staff and management, which were clearly part of an institutional failure, could not happen again, because this was unacceptable.
I think the senior leadership of the church believes that they sit at the heart of the Anglican Church and they know what is best for it. I don't think that's true.
Michael Buttrey is a lifelong Anglican and a doctoral candidate who studies Christian ethics. He helped write an open letter demanding significant change at the church. Hundreds of Anglicans, including clergy, even the Bishop of Quebec, have now signed the open letter.
There was no consequences, no real changes, despite the harm that had been done to survivors. And we thought that clearly nothing would change unless we brought public attention to this issue.
The Archbishop says she has no plan to respond to the group's calls for change, but she has offered to meet the accusers. Sydney Proctor is not interested.
I'm not ready to go back into a church building.
After everything she's been through, her faith remains, but her trust in the church is shattered. Paige Parsons, CBC News, Edmonton.